Hey there, this is Kritesh and welcome to TradeBin's YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to discuss how to find where the big players are investing in the market. In other words, in this video, you will find out where the people who have tons of money like Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, Porinjo Vilayat, Dolly Khanna, R.K. Damani, Ramesh Damani, Ramdev Agrawal, where all these investors are investing. By the end of this video, you will have a clear idea of where to find what stocks they are purchasing and what stocks they are selling. Moreover, you can also find the exact portfolio of these investors. Now, first of all, if you are new to this channel, please subscribe. We publish new interesting investing videos every week. Now let me give you a fair warning. Investing blindly where these big investors are investing can land you into many troubles. Generally, the investment of those people who invest blindly are always goes into loss. Why? Then let me give you a few reasons. First of all, you do not know the exact strategy of these people. I mean, whether they are investing for 5 years, 10 years or more, and maybe your strategy will be different from theirs. Maybe they are capable of holding the stock for 10 years or even more than that, and you might not be willing to hold that stock for more than 2-3 years. Therefore, maybe you will end up in loss, however they will end up in profit after 10 or more years. Second, every person has different risk appetite. I mean, will you be able to see your stocks when it is down by 50%? These investors are seasoned and they have a different strategy, and they might be willing to take higher risk, and maybe they want to invest in those stocks which may be in loss for a few time but in profitable for the longer run. So your risk appetite and the risk appetite of these investors are different. Third, these investors have a lot of money. Even if they lose in some stocks, it's not going to affect their livelihood. But if you invest totally in one stock where they are investing, and if it goes in loss, then you might be in trouble. And fourth, even these investors are human, and humans are capable of making mistakes. So let's say they have invested in 10 stocks and 2 of these stocks are not that fruitful and are not performing well, and if you invested blindly in these 2 stocks, then it will turn out to be a loss for you. So maybe they will be able to cope up with that loss, but if you have investment all your amount in only that 2 stocks which is not performing, then it's definitely not a good move. Overall, I will never suggest to blindly invest where the big players are investing. However, frankly speaking, general investors cannot match the resources compared to those big investors. I mean, these big investors have a team of analysts, they have good resources like good analysis tools, and moreover they are also capable of meeting the CEOs or the management of many companies. So they might be knowing something insider news or a good, or they might be knowing about the plans of the companies, what they are performing. What I want to say is that following the moves of these big investors can be a little profitable for the people. For beginners, it will be helpful to understand how these people invest. I mean, what are their philosophies? If you are tracking their investments, what they are doing, you can find out like what they are looking in the company and why they are investing in that only stock. And second is that you can also look into their portfolio, which stocks are performing, how long it took for their investment to grow, and you can set a benchmark for yourself. And finally, these people have proven their worth to the market. I mean, for the last 15-20 years they have consistently get over 20-25%, and this means that they are expert in this thing and they know how market works. So if you are able to track their portfolio, then it will definitely a good learning for you. So these are the basics. So let's get started how you can find where these people are investing. Firstly, if you follow day-to-day news, then you can find all this information easily. I mean, whenever these people make a big investment in any company, it gets published in Money Control or Economic Times or investing.com. All these big websites cover their new purchases. And if you are reading all the news like 1 to 2 hours daily, then you can find out like which new stock they bought or which stock they exit. Anyways, this strategy can be a little difficult to follow. I mean, I can understand that many a time you won't be able to read all the news available on the internet. So there is also alternative here. And the thing is that you can set alerts on these investors. I mean, you can set alerts for Rakesh Jhunjhunwala and Dolly Khanna, and whenever any news related to these people are published on internet, you might get an alert. And this can be done using Google alerts. Go to Google and search Google alerts. Now, what Google alerts do that it's look at all the news published on the internet. So let's say whenever there is a news related to any big investor, it will send all the news to your email. For example, let's say that you want to track Rakesh Jhunjhunwala's investment. So you can set an alert for Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, and you can create an alert. Now whenever any new news is published online regarding Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, then Google will send you alert about that news to your email, directly to your email box. Similarly, you can set alert for all the different investors that you want to track, like Dolly Khanna or Ramdev Agarwal. So you can create alert for all the different investors. And here you can also set a time, like at which time you want to get alerts. So I have set alert for 9 p.m. in the evening. You can set any alert any time. So at that time you will receive all the news regarding to these investors directly in your inbox, that is directly in your Gmail. So Google Alert is a very good way to tracking all the new information regarding a specific topic. And I also use Google Alerts for tracking my stocks and companies. For example, if you have invested in any company, let's say HPCL, Hindustan Petroleum, so here you can also set an alert for HPCL. So whenever there is any good news or bad news or any kind of news related to HPCL published on any big website on internet, then Google will send an alert to your email ID. So even if you are not reading news whole day, and you can just check your email ID and you can find out all the new things related to the topic, like investor or stocks that you are tracking. So this is the easiest way how you can track where the big investors are investing. Anyhow, sometimes this can be delayed news. I mean, these people will be investing during the daytime and you will getting news in the evening. Anyhow, it doesn't matter, because as I already said, never invest blindly based on where these big investors are investing. You just have to track the investment of these people so that it will help you to learn, to grow, to find out the different strategies which the big players or successful investors are using. So this was the first step. Second is that you can find the information where these big players are investing using bulk and block deals on NSE or BSE website. So let me tell you what is bulk and block deal. Whenever an investor purchases more than 5 lakh share of a company, or whenever his investment is more than 5 crores, then there is an obligation for them to notify the stock exchange. And this information you can find on the NSE or BSE website. The other one is bulk deal. In bulk deal, whenever an investor buys more than 0.5% of a company, then again they have to notify the stock exchange. And all these details you can find on the NSE or BSE website. So on the TradeBench, here's a link for bulk and block deal. This is the website of BSE India, and here you can select the date, like you can select all market and date. Let's say last 2 days. Let's say we are finding out how much was the bulk and block deal for the last 2 days. So here you can see that Sangeeta Sultania has bought in Oriental Trade Link, I suppose, and it here she has bought around 63,745 stocks of this company. So this list is published daily after the market is closed. So you can just have a look at what were the bulk and block deals, what are the people are investing, and using this link you can find out which big players are investing where. Similarly, you can also go to block deal here and select date, whichever date. I mean, if you can select a range of dates or a specific date, and you can get the complete list of where people are investing and stock they are buying and selling. So bulk and block deal can give a very good indication to the people, like which stocks the big players are investing. And whenever you see any big name, any of your favorite investor name, you can have an idea like whether he is increasing his shareholding, he is decreasing his shareholding, is buying, selling. So you can have so you can keep a track on the bulk and block deal in order to get an idea of which players are investing in which stocks and what are the big investments going on in the share market. The second approach is that you can look at the shareholding pattern of a company. Now, in the shareholding pattern, whenever someone buys more than 1% of a company, then the company has an obligation to show them as individual shareholders. So again, let's say any specific company, Titan company. So you can go on BSE website and look at their shareholding pattern, and you can find out if any big investors are investing in that stock or not. For example, on BSE you can go and search Titan company, and here if you go to shareholding pattern, and here you can see the September, like the latest quarter shareholding pattern. Here you will get the list of all the promoters and public. So here you can see, get the information of promoters and promoters group, and on the second line you can see the shareholding patterns of the public shareholder. If you click on the second link, here you will get the details of all the big investors and the public who have invested in it, like which mutual funds have invested in that company. And if you scroll down here, you can see the name of Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, Rakesh Radheshyam. So he has bought the stock of Titan using two different profiles, two different accounts. So this is also a way of checking out which stock has how much holding in which company. Like here you can see that he has around 5.82% using this name and around 1.30% using the second account. So overall he has around 7% investment in the Titan company. So this is also a way how you can check out where the big investors are investing. Just look at the shareholding pattern of any company that you are investing and find out if any big investors has invested in that company or not. So this is the second approach. And the third approach is that there are many websites which track where the big investors are investing. For example, you can go to Trendline website. Now they have done a very awesome job for showing the portfolio of big company of big investors. Here you can go to superstars on the top menu, and you can find a link of a number of investors, almost all the big investors that you want, and look at their portfolio. For example, here you can see Rakesh Jhunjhunwala. Just click on Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, and if you scroll down, you will get an idea of all the stocks that he is holding. You can see Aptech, NCC, Rallis India. Here you can get the exact details of all the companies that he is, all the stocks that he is holding, and in his portfolio. And similarly, if you want to look at different investors, again you can go to Superstar and search for whichever investor that you want. Let's say you want to look at the portfolio of Dolly Khanna, then just search Dolly Khanna and just click on the name, and you will get an idea of different stocks in their portfolio, or how many stocks they are holding, the total value of those stocks, the total quantity of these stocks. So these are the three ways how you can find where the big investors are investing. First, you can use Google alerts to set an alert on the big investors, so that you will get a notification whenever they buy new stocks or whenever they are in news. Second is you can look at the bulk and block deals on the NSE website and have an idea of their new investments. Third is you can look at the shareholding patterns of the company, like whichever company you are interested in, look at the shareholding pattern. And finally, you can always go to this website called Trendline and look at the superstars portfolio. So that's all for this video. I hope it was useful to you. Play around and find out where the big investors are investing, so that you can learn from their investments. If you like the video, please hit the like button, and please subscribe to this channel for more interesting investing videos. This is Kritesh signing off.